Welcome back.
Hello.
So we are back to Blueprints Dare mode, of course, because what else would I be playing? Go ahead and start this up. Last time we had really good success and then really bad success. And I have hands. That was the last time thing as well, I think. This time we're going to try and stop sucking as much. Yeah. Okay. Guest bedroom. Steps is not terrible. Did I get anything? Maybe a key. It's hard to see keys on the front end. Hallway. Not faced how I want it to, but it is there. And nook. Security is totally worth doing. Okay. All of those are deaths, so how do I want to die? I think I will die with the pantry. Just so I can get money. We axed the vault. That's what we axed. We axed the vault, which was excellent. Excellent choice by me. We got the throne room. So now it's just a matter of trying to get both of those going simultaneously. And by both, I don't mean vault. I mean technically vault and vault and armory are the two that I want because the armory will have the torch, and the torch will make our dreams come true. Or something. And if it doesn't have the torch, it'll have the axe, and the axe can get us, redraw here, I think. What am I thinking? This observatory here. The torch will, or the axe rather, will make the throne room free. All of these are good. Do 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 do. Not right now. No items. The blue box is empty. One can only hope the blue box is true. This is the blue box. I bet that's not true. Cool. Archives does suck, but it's not the worst thing in the world. It's just that anything I can't see is suddenly a gamble. I can't go south, so what do I hope to get from this door? Really nothing. Let me get that out of the way. With two of them being red, I did not trust that they're going to not be weight room. Yeah. I guess give me weight room then. Lord of mercy with those choices. Corridor. It's fine, it saves me a few steps moving here and there. Armory. Fascinating and horrible decision. But technically I'm not interested in movement right now. Movement is not the goal. I guess I'll use that. What was the goal? Vault. Vault doesn't cost gems, but I have no idea how to... Ooh, there it is. Is that a power door? No, it's not. Okay. All these bad things. I don't like them. Furnace. Worse, somehow. Somehow I got a door that's worse than furnace off of that. I didn't think it was possible until I saw it with my own eyes. You'd give me, like, anything. No. Unplayable. Absolutely unplayable. Now I get to hope that one of these can lead me to a vault. At least this is items, right? This is 4 items, whether I want them or not. Yeah, gem and a key, that's kind of what I was hoping for. There we go. I mean, I gotta go for every archived room that could be the vault. I have 1 key, which will get me north of Great Hall. Dining room's not bad here, actually. That would be cool if I could eat. I suspect... Great things, apparently. I suspect great things. I guess we'll keep the train going, I don't know. That's kind of what I thought it would be, actually. Just because we're on the West Wing, and we didn't take it earlier. Here, I think we go for more keys. I think the aim for more keys is high of our priorities. 4 squared is somewhere. Here we go. 6 squared minus 16. 6 squared minus 20. Running through my head a couple times before I actually commit to it. Okay, I'll go ahead and use it. 3 keys. I can use 1 of them here. Gee, I wonder what room that is. I'll take a courtyard, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know that I care. We'll use this here. Honestly, not the worst thing I've ever done. Now, hear me out. This could be the foyer. Doing it. Passageway. Dang it. Options? Yes. Good options? No. Okay, we'll save the keys for lower things because I have not seen a vault that high before. But boy, am I going to try. And I got a key back. Hey, what a good day. Game is... I mean, it's not being good to me, but it does act like it cares. Oh, it could have been a showroom too. That would have been terrible. Give me a vault, please. Listen, I'll take the dice and the gems, but we're kind of on our last leg. So, what's the smart and useful thing to do here? Go through chapel just to be closer to the armory. Draft from the Great Hall just in case the steps matter. I guess that's a fair choice. I guess we can do that, buddy. Did I already look through here? I think I did. Yeah, look at that. Okay. The Southern Cross could be very well interfering with my ability to get the vault, which is a dead-end room. Mm. 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 Okay, last choice from here. Which is why we're gonna give it the good college try. That's sus. That's sus, but I could also re-roll again. Just to see. Hmm. 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 Choices. And not pleasant ones. What do I think it would be? I've done parlor, I've done nook, I've done guest bedroom. Nursery costs a gym. I've done pantry, I've done lavatory, I've done a lot of the red rooms. I haven't done furnace, it could be furnace. I don't know. I don't know what it could be. I'll use my redraw just to say I did. Yeah, so I'm still kind of left with this conundrum. We'll take it. We'll take it. We got to. Workshop, fascinating. That's a fascinating thing because I'm left with this. And so, of course, I'm going to give it the college try. Planetarium. Interesting, but not helpful. That's the empty one, of course. That was useless. Well, if I get a key, I know 2 doors that are not going to be empty. So yeah, passageway north just to see if we can. Probably get a vault and not have enough steps to come back. I might barely, actually, all things considered. If this is a vault, I think I barely have enough steps to go back to the armory. Pop. A pop. Library. Which, it's cool. We got to the antechamber. We just can't get in it because can't do nothing. So, I suppose we call it there. We are getting stars. We are accomplishing kind of things. Whether it's good things or not is subject to debate, but we'll see. Editing Hayato here. Apparently, I clicked on something that screwed with my audio. So, the good news is, I'm here. The bad news is, I'm going to have to narrate over the last, 30 minutes of this episode. So, unfortunately, whatever it was I was saying will never get heard because it doesn't exist. But on the flip side, I will do what I can to remember what I was trying to say, I suppose. But anyway, so we will keep going with this episode, and hopefully it turns out well. Behold the talking that's not happening. But yes, the next day, the next attempt. And we're going, get the money, and obviously we have to go for the first one, which is a den. Go for door number 2, and we get a corridor. And over for door number 3, we get a storeroom, which it's not bad to have things starting out, so that's not a problem. Going back through, we go to corridor because there's one door we can see what we get out of it. And it looks like the best option is probably security. Unfortunate that we got a security door that early, but it could happen, and therefore it did happen. We are now going for probably a chapel, because it has multiple doors. Sadly, we cannot draft south, so if we want to connect that, we have to do so from the den. Go ahead and get the gem from here, and draft the corner, see what we get for the corner. A nook is a free key, so nothing hurts getting that. See what we can get while we're in here. All of them turn sideways, so guess we'll go with the pantry. Get some steps, get some gold. And none of those are particularly ideal as far as pathing. We have enough gyms, so we could do kitchen for the food, or we could do nursery for the steps, and that's what we went for. Go ahead and get a nursery run started. Which, granted, it's not curse mode, so steps are less dire, but it does help to have as much as possible. So we're going out. Since we're having to backtrack anyway, might as well go through and get our outer room. And hovel would give us steps, but it also changes our need for gyms into a need for steps. Having a nursery run does help that, but whether it's a good idea or not is debatable. No point really going in there, so we just take our steps and go. But now our biggest currency remains to be steps, just even more so. And keys. Gyms are now a luxury. So going back up, obviously we can't go left here so far, but if we can get a utility closet, we can open those up. So we will see what we can get from here. A hallway would give us options. Nothing goes straight into the foundation, so options are probably the best option here. Do we want to use a key? We've only got 2, so no. And lots of good ideas, but courtyard is most options. So again, we're favoring our options, our ability to go places. We can only have 2 items, so we're going to skip the shovel. And again, spend as few keys this early as possible. Dark room gets us into the foundation and also up, but obviously there are some very real downsides to it. I.e., it is dark. So we'll go ahead and see what we can get on the foundation side. Conference room gives us a lot of options, but we really can't go south, so that's not a big benefit. We would just possibly connect it from hallway. Observatory, we could get the stuff from it, but you know, this was probably the fairest option. All of these are good options. Drawing room gives us redraws, which can help hugely, but we're always going to have to watch for our steps, especially if we have to start backtracking back to, say, courtyard or hallway somewhere. Granted, hallway may not give us much, but the fact that this costs us steps is going to be its own kind of issue. At least to think about. Obviously we're skipping getting the items in here because it's hard to get rid of items and we can only have 2. We can now do observatory if we want because it's going to be pointed north. So we go ahead and do that and get our star count continuing up. Today it is the apple, the diamond, and the slice. Of course the slice pays for this room. Diamonds are not particularly helpful. Gem, rather. Gems are not particularly helpful, so we have to keep going all the way back. Now we are below 50, so it's kind of important to really keep a watch. While we're in here, we just want to try the door. It is locked. We're not gonna mess with it, but because if we're gonna play with a locked door, the dark room is the worst one to pick. Keep that for last. So we're gonna use one here. Lots of options, but unfortunately Great Hall, which would be fantastic, is going to be fully locked, so Rumpus Room is the best option here. at least in theory. So next up, luckily it was unlocked. We can get garage for keys. Again, we gotta watch out for our steps, but it's a good option considering how many locked doors we run into. And then maybe we could get guest bedroom or something else for the steps later on. Alright, so taking our keys, we can now go explore other locked doors like hallway. If we're really interested in getting, let's say, a boudoir or a guest bedroom for our steps. Sadly, we did not get one, but pool gives us possibilities. Mainly being that it gets us a connection there. We don't have to double back. We've only got 35 steps, so that's getting to be a bigger and bigger deal. So that is what we go ahead and go with. We obviously don't have the swim trunks yet, so that was really just a shortcut to get back north. And this is where we intend to spend our keys. So, one down, one remaining. If we pick guest bedroom, we've basically ended our run. We may need the steps, and we do technically still have dark room, so it's a gamble. Empty closet does nothing for us. Parlor, we would have to basically waste the gems. So guest bedroom has the most for us, but that's a very low bar. So we got 1 gem, which doesn't help us any, but 5 steps for drafting it, thanks to nursery, 10 steps for actually going in it. So it helps our step economy a little bit. But really, we are in a tough place. The question is, could the items in the armory help us? And the answer is probably no, because we've already drafted dark room, so the shield won't protect us from its effect. So the question is, how bad can it be? Weight room obviously costs no gems, so one of the 2 on the left could be weight room. Luckily we got a dining room, so that's huge because it will help our steps if we get high enough. And it's got multiple directions. Boiler room goes straight, or parlor could go north. We chose to go straight on this one. The other possibility, right, is if we solve boiler, we can get powered rooms. Granted, we already solved it, but we could get powered rooms going. Sadly, we did not get a connection there. We can't draft south, so we have to ignore the other door. And now it's just a question of, can we find a way to get more keys? We don't have any items so far, so we could theoretically grab the shovel and start digging for keys. But we are definitely exploring our options and decide it's not really worth it. So we call it a day. A tough day, but you know, it happens. This is why dare mode is so difficult. And now, day 24. Get our allowance from our dare burb. First one is din, which granted is always nice to see. Next one is nook, which is a little redundant, but it's fine. Gets us a key. And a corridor. This is kind of a winning combo for us, it seems. So we can choose a bedroom or a kitchen here. Bedroom is free, and we have very limited resources. Limited money to buy more stuff, etc. Chapel is the best one here. It's got lots of options, none of which point south, so none of them are a waste. All of these point south, none of these go anywhere really important, so security might be the best option to get us safe from security doors. But we would need utility closet to pop up, which it absolutely did not last time. Spare room or commissary would be fine here, but since we have so little money, commissary is not worth it. Again, we could go for keys or steps, or we could draft parlor just to keep going. Again, we're forced to waste the potential for gems because that's one of our dares, is I have to get it wrong. So do we lose a gem and go for garage? And the answer is yes. We decided that keys were worth it. Which, you know, again, last time we had such a key issue, that's not surprising.
Just looking around, there's nothing there, so... And we lose nothing except for the steps, so it's fine. So doubling all the way back here, we're going to go into Nook and go ahead and grab our key. No chest or anything, so we're just going to keep going because we can draft both of them from the den. Go ahead and, again, no chest, but we got a gem out of it. Observatory gets us keep our star count going, but it does take one of our gems, and that may not be the best move, so storeroom is also a good option. Just so we have gems and keys. The coin is completely irrelevant. And we got a hallway, which is pretty good facing. We got 2 new directions, so 2 new possibilities for good doors. This one was not a particularly good hole. We chose the bedroom just because stuff does show up in it, so we got 2 gems out of it, which is pretty darn good, actually. Here we could either go observatory or library. We were tempted with observatory before. We're going to go ahead and take it this time. Look and see what we get. It is a sale. Unfortunately, we are broke as all get out, so it does not help us. Here we can get utility closet, but that basically ends our round, so gymnasium was chosen. With the hopes of getting utility closet again later when we have more options. Armory keeps us going and we don't have to invoke the dare that just parlor. We can't afford anything, so we're just looking more so. Looking at the prices. Commissary gets us into foundation, and foundation is options, so even though we can't buy anything, that's really the best choice. Parlor is the best way to go north, but then we do have to waste it, so we drafted it. We'll come back to it in a second. Go ahead and use one of our 5 keys. Passageway would be options galore, but obviously we can't go south, and it costs us 2 of our 3 gems, so it's a risk, but we're taking it. It's also a risk of having a security door on an unfortunate day. Next up, dining room faces the perfect direction and has no risk of security doors, so that's also great. We go ahead and draft this one to try and go north because that will help us get our food from dining room and protect our steps. Weight room is actually tempting, but billiard room could get us steps and keeps us go, or could get us keys. Keeps us going forward. We'll go ahead and go into dining room, get a key, use the key. And honestly, here we have enough options. We could go pantry, or we could pick one of the other 2. There haven't been a lot of security doors so far, and so pantry's what we go with. Get our coins, maybe buy something later on, and get a fruit. Vault would give us a lot of coins. We could actually buy stuff from the commissary. So we go ahead and pick Vault. And it really has nothing else for us, so 45 coins and a dream. Keys and gems may be on the menu for things to buy. We would want something to go straight. Mechanarium could do that, and technically we do have security. So the idea is that it will, and in fact it does. The question is, do we go ahead and go in there, or do we double back to a commissary and possibly armory? And of course that is what we're debating currently. We go ahead and go in it and draft, because in the act of doubling back we could go by, because we will go through the dining room, so if we go ahead and get to rank 8, our food would be in the dining room on the way of double backing. That would be good. Dark room's obviously the only option that takes us anywhere, but it's also dark room, so that kind of sucks for us. We kind of wish we had the shield when we had done that. But you live and learn. Thinking about going through here, might as well. That was not locked, and boiler room faces the exact right direction, but utility closet would be huge here, because we could turn the dark room back on, among other things. We also have parlor that could potentially go up, so this is not a bad choice here, but we want to go ahead and get our keys while we're here. So 6 off that. We have 10 divided by 2 is 5. Here we have 17 minus 15 is 2, times 20 is 40, divided by 10 is 4. 20 and 23 minus 13 is 10, times 2 would have been 20. What do we miss? We got 6, we got 5. I think this one was 4. 20, 23, 10. Oh, we missed the divided by 4. There we go. And double keys. Good keys. Question is, can we go in here and trigger everything? Turn the gym off. We went ahead and turn the dark room off, thinking maybe that would keep it from triggering, but we'll see. I want to go ahead and go back this way. Through here. Into here, and sure enough it's off, but we'll go ahead and trigger it that way. When we go back into utility closet, we can turn it back on and it will stay on. Alright, so heading back into the dining room, into Mechanarium, and into the dark room, which is no longer dark. Hoping to get ourselves to rank 8, and drawing room is going to be our best option for that. Gets us a gym back, which is huge, because we just spent our last one. And gets us a redraw. These are some pretty good options, honestly. Pool gives us lots of directions to go, but it takes our one gym. That's maybe not a good thing to do. We could guess bedroom gets us steps and gets us to rank 8. It could give us an item. It gave us meh. It was meh. Another thing we can do, though it takes a lot of steps to do it, is to disable the security doors. The one in dark room being the most important of them all. We did not have a trophy room this run, but we'll go ahead and get our 20 steps. Now we're going through into foundation. We'll go ahead and take care of parlor. We just have to make sure we get it wrong. So this box is black, maybe. The gyms are in the true box, maybe. This box is blue. Okay, well, the first and third are obviously true. So this should be empty. Can't afford veranda, so we are stuck with planetarium, which is terribly unfortunate. We would have to go all the way back down to security and to utility closet to make darkroom viable. With 45 steps to do it. So we're going to go ahead and buy the torch. What we can do is, everywhere that we can ignite something, we can go ahead and take care of that this run. We won't lose our steps coming through here. We didn't bother with the 2 shoes because we're not saving nothing this time. So we're just going to go over here to chapel, and bedroom's going to save us 2 steps. We'll light this guy, this guy. So that takes care of the keeper of the tides. Good old Piggy the bank. Save our 2 steps going through bedroom. And now we have a few that we can light outside. If we go down towards the... You know that thing? That light dish? We can light this once again. That's by our tent. Into the gate. burn this. Where is it at? Where is it at? It is right over somewhere. There we are. Twisty, twisty, twisty. How do we line things up? We line them up like this. Ah, crap. Okay. How do I pick the second one? There we go. Kind of, maybe. One. Okay. 1, 2. There we go. Now that that's open, 33 steps to go. The bad news is that the torch is one of our 2 items, right? And so we can only do this one little light of mine at a time. One microchip at a time. So this will take a few steps to do. We're going first to light the tunnel. Just get all the torch stuff done that we can while we can. Yeah, we go through. There is a place over here to the left, like that. Off to the right, like that. And we have a floor plan to get. Huzzah. Moving onwards and upwards, quite literally. Pass through the gate. And our goal here is to get the trading post or the tomb. Those are going to be the big 2 that we can do torch stuff with. And of course we got neither. So what we can do is make an offering to the shrine. Obviously there's nothing else we can light in here, but looking around. Question is, what would be the best blessing? What we can do is 3 days of the blessing of the monk. Or the dancer, sorry. And of course that actually would be a great thing, because we could make sure that doors don't go south. So that is pretty huge, actually. Help us with our pathing from here on. Itchy eyes. But yeah, now it's just up to us to do this one item at a time. One microchip by one to get the satellite dish raised. 25 steps should be plenty to do that. Exactly 1. Be very careful not to double click and run away. Do 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 do. Go ahead and stick that in there. And back for another one. And that took about 3 steps, so plenty of steps. Plenty of steps going forward and backwards. Back in. Being very careful not to grab both of them, just one. Click. Very carefully, run away. Keep all hands and fingers off the buttons. put that in there. Hooray. And for the last one. We are scooting on down. 14 steps left, which is normally very concerning, but should be fine. Should be unable to screw this one up, so just take the one and turn it around, much like the hokey pokey. Looking at what we got as far as permanent upgrades. And get in there with 9 steps. And make sure, put it in, do not pull anything out. And voila, we have the SD. Very large and very in charge. So the question is, with our 9 steps, what do we do? Well, now that we have the satellite dish, the security is very close to the entrance, if we can make it there. 8 steps, 7 steps, 6 steps. Almost, not yet. So it'll take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 when we get inside the entrance hall. So we should just be able to make it. Plus there's bedroom on the way, so easy. Easy, 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 which I'm very confident is what I'm saying. 3 plus 2, give me 5. Take my coin, no one cares. Alright. Log into the network. We have the Swan without an S. S-W-A-N. Song. Wee wee, wee wee. Of course, we have the Blackbridge Grotto already done, so we can log into the laboratory. First, we gotta do the data transfers. Download the packet. Good old Randolph. Gotta make sure Randolph knows that we gotta download the packets. Have him send them to us. 8 new triggers, 8 new effects. These are all the stuff that we got. So lots of good stuff. We will want to customize that. Got some that we favor more than others, but we can go ahead and go into the remote terminal access. Electronic mail, not really worth it. Into the lab, answer is yes. And now we are going to packet management. Create a custom packet. We like things happening immediately, that's always good. Each time you eat an apple, sure. Whenever you drive to a shop room, meh. We don't have much money, so there's no point in doing it. Unlocking a security door, sure. Spend 2 or more gems, sure. Reach bedroom after your second, not worth it. Whenever you draft an archive floor plan, it can be useful if you get stuck in a run with an archive. Don't care about the chest, don't care about the second hallway, don't care about the... well, we do care about the trash, that happens a lot. Each time you draft a tomorrow room happens plenty. Next 10 times you look at your map. And we'll go ahead and do that just in case. Each time you draft an upgrade floor plan, sure, of course. Each time you access a different terminal, we don't care. Each room you draft, sure. Each room with a fireplace, and it can be useful. First time you enter each room on rank 8, not that good, but on rank 9 rather. While drafting, if you draw a drawing room floor plan, rare, and you draft a red room. So with our issues with red rooms, we can get rid of some of these in favor of others. The apple, less important. And obviously digging, we're not doing a lot of digging because we can't do so many items. Gain stuff, always good. Setting steps to 40, very good. Adding a small chest, very good to get stuff. Every second hallway doesn't really help us. Gain 1 star is always helpful. Setting dice is always good. Spreading dirt, we can't really dig without a shovel. We don't want to do a lot of bedrooms anyway. 3 aquariums could be helpful, so we can go ahead and put that one. Letter be delivered, we don't care, we know what those are. Lose half your steps is kind of rough. Gain 1 random item, but set your keys to 0. Permanently increase your locking skill, we don't have a lockpick. Get 1 key for every 30 steps, so it will give us like 1 key, it's not helpful. Unseal one of the doors to the antechamber, it's huge. Remove a crate from the from the tunnel. Meh. I don't know that we care, but it doesn't hurt. Over the reservoir, stock your pantry with fruit, very helpful. Let me add 1 gold to your allowance, very, very helpful because we are poor right now. Just double checking, making sure we don't miss anything we want, but probably not. That should be okay. We'll go ahead and put the crates on the tunnel there just in case. And the letter, sure, just so we can have the stuff unlocked in here. And with that, that's probably all that we care to do with our 3 remaining steps. We can just end it. So, we will go ahead and call it a day. A fair amount done, a fair amount accomplished with our SD raised now. Torches lit. Those stay lit, so those are good. Respectable villa here. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for this episode. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!